All right, I got a question for the general populace. Um,
Yeah.
I'm playing around with altering a spade bit so that I can holes I drill I can round out the bottoms of. So I'm going to Forstner bit a hole, and then I'm going to use the spade bit to sort of round it off. So my question to you
Oval
guys
shape.
are, yeah, yeah, so that I can get a round bottom in that hole and eliminate the
Right.
Forstner bit marks, right? So my question to the general public here is, what do I need to do to make that bit work after I've got it in the right shape? Because some of the things I'm seeing are they put sort of a I don't know, they've relieved the ends and the sides on it, and I want to know how to do that or what to do, what that shape is, and you know, I mean, assuming, I mean, it's not just a simple, slant in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can look up pipe makers drill bit, and it'll be a spade bit that's been rounded off, and you'll be able to see a picture of it.
Yeah, but the pictures don't show the detail I need, so or the detail I would like, I should say. So I don't know
So
if that's helpful or not, but
Yeah.
Matt,
So I'll pull one up. I'll pull one up tomorrow and look at it, and then give you my thoughts on it. For me, when I make pipes, I turn it, and so I get that
yeah,
I
so
oval
that's exactly
bottom,
what I'm trying
for
to
the
do.
pipes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly what you're trying to do. So I know the shape, what it needs to be. I'll look at it and then give you my insights on it.
yeah. One of
so
the guys whose video I looked at talked about backdrafting the side, and I'm a little foggy on what exactly that means.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
couldn't
not
tell from
familiar
the
with that.
video. Yeah, so I don't know.
hey, Matt, have you thought about taking and making that spade bit kind of rounded at the end? And then
Yes,
and
Yes,
then
that's what he's
taking
talking
half
about.
half of that and basically uh making a scraper on one half, where you have negative rake on one half and then reverse the negative rake on the
On
opposite.
the other side. Yeah, it's ground off on the opposite ends.
It's opposite. That way it'll,
Right.
as it spins,
yeah. So let
print
me
everything out.
let me just quickly jump into here and do this.
Yeah.
So this is my notes here on this. So
Right.
this one here is the one, and that's what I can tell from what I can see online. So is that the right way I'm doing it? And
Yes.
I
that's
would
like,
think,
Yes.
I would think that
Correct.
rounded part just turn into a negative rake scraper halfway and then reverse it and do the opposite negative rake on the other side.
yeah. So you're doing the same thing on both sides, just
Yes.
mirrored or whatever. Okay.
Just
Yep.
the opposite end. On the
So Matt,
opposite
Negative
end.
rake.
On the opposite
Matt,
side of the bit.
what size hole are you trying to do, Matt?
Well, I want to make at least two of them because I want to do one that's half inch for those spiral ribbon finials, and I want to do a bigger one that's 3/4 inch. And
Why-
so
why
we're
don't you-
we're not talking something really huge here.
Why don't you buy yourself a spoon bit?
Because I don't know where to buy them and I'm cheap.
Well, they
Matt.
make their
Matt, I used a box core router bit and an
Okay.
extension, and when I did my ribbon finials,
right.
and
Okay.
I just used a box core bit with an extension.
That's a good idea.
But you
Yeah.
can also buy spoon bits. You can buy antique ones, or you can still buy new ones that are
Yeah.
that are made to make a rounded bottom
Dedicated.
hole.
Okay.
And I think they come up. They start at like a 1/4 inch and go all the way roughly to an inch, I believe. I don't think I've ever seen one bigger than an inch, but I'm sure you can get them. If you find places, you can get them because they still make them because a lot of timber framers use them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're
All right.
called spoon bits.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm Amazoning behind you or Googling behind you. So yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, Scott.
Lee Valley has them.
Yes, they do. I gotta play. Oh boy, those are pricey.
Well, sometimes
Yep.
you can sometimes you can find them on eBay, Matt, that are old ones, you know, that are antique.
Yes.
What would be, we'd call antiques, but they work just as good as the new ones and you get them a lot cheaper.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks. Appreciate your input. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that too.
Yeah, no problem. Just thinking outside the box.
But,
Cause
but
I'm
your,
like you, I'm cheap.
but your box core bits would work, do exactly the same thing. And you could either put them in a hand drill and drill them by hand, or you could put them in, drill them on the lathe with an extension, like Gary says.
Yeah, I have those, so I may try that too. I'm gonna go dig those out. So I don't router much, but I have them somewhere. So
And actually, you could probably do it with your ball end mill would do the same thing because it's balled on the end.
yeah, but
Yeah,
with
but
the
it only
half
did
with a
3/8
half
of an
inch
inch.
hole, I can't with a half inch hole, I can't get in there. Because I can't get in there with a half inch hole because
But
my
buy a half
my
inch ball end mill.
well, I'd have to buy a half inch rod and buy a smaller end mill because it'll be deep in the hole.
You can buy end mills with a 1/4 inch or 3/8 shank that are bigger than 3/8.
Yep.
True.
I hear you. I hear you.
I think Dane's got one, as a matter of fact, somewhere because he showed it to me the other day.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Speaking of end mills, mine was supposed to be here yesterday and got lost in the mail.
Oh, no.
So I do have a question though. It's like it's a 3/8. Do I want a 3/4 inch bar?
Yes.
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
I put mine in a 5/8 bar, Billy.
Well, if I want to put it in my elbow tool, it'll need to be 3/4 anyway. So
Right. Yep. But
Sure.
I drilled mine into a 5/8 bar because that's what I had.
right.
I just got my 3/8 and 1/4 inch in for my hollowing rig too, yesterday and today.
Billy, thank you. I got it right here.
Damn it.
Hey, look at there. Dano. Welcome to the party, brother.
It kept saying it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. They send it USPS. And then after the time they said it should be here, I get a message saying there was a problem with your shipment. And when I looked at the
no.
details, it said return to shipper.
Oh
Wow.
no.
No, it went to Dan Smith.
Oh,
Yeah, went to the
Maybe he
wrong
was the
address.
shipper.
I got
What
here.
size? What size
I'm-
did you get, Billy?
3/8.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Did you
guessing,
double in?
yeah, I'm guessing the package ripped or came open or whatever. And when he was going to deliver it, he noticed there wasn't anything in it. So he just sent the empty package back to the shipper. I don't know.
Either
They
that,
put
or I
the
caught
mailbox.
No, in the USPS. Yeah, but if it was been put in it came with USPS. So if it had been put in somebody's mailbox, it would show delivered, just
Right.
not to my address.
right. That's why I'm saying it could have been taken out of that package through a machine or got
Right.
from one of the
Oh
stores.
yeah.
Hey, Billy, they shipped mine via UPS, little bitty package.
Yeah, they sent mine USPS, damn it.
Hey.
Don't you have a machine shop in your area that you can go buy that directly from them?
I don't have any idea, maybe.
I mean, San Antonio should be big enough. You should have someplace that sells bits like that. Crepes, my little
any,
town's got them.
Little crib of the South or something.
any tool store's got it, like a Granger or Performance Tool or any of those kinds of places.
Fastenal carries a lot
Yeah,
of.
that means I gotta go running around looking.
That's why
Well,
the
you can
gods
call
gave
'em
us
up
phones,
first.
dude. Yeah.
Right? Call them up and
I
check.
don't have time for all that.
How do you,
Then again, ain't nobody got time for that.
Then again, you might have somebody on the other end of the line. They're saying, "Yeah, ball windmill. Yeah, we got all kinds of
Yeah.
ball windmills. Come on down." And you get there and they show you a drill
Nope.
bit.
my question,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly.
how do you guys fill out the bar stock? Or how do you take bar stock?
Just take
You
your,
could- you
take
do
your
it
bar
on your
stock
lathe.
and drill it out in your drill press or on your lathe.
Yeah,
Um,
you could, I did mine on my lathe.
You know,
I did
Here's
Bill-
my
mine on
leg.
my drill
um,
press.
So,
Bob Prinstead gave us a thing. It's on the website, how to drill out your rod on
okay,
your drill press using your
Or
chuck.
I think I was Scott. It was Scott.
Or if you get
did
it at
that.
if you get it at a steel supplier, they can drill it for you.
okay.
Yeah, if you buy it at a
It'll
local
cost
machine
extra.
shop, Sue, they'll drill it for you.
And what kind of shop, Scott?
Some kind of machine shop, somebody
Okay.
that makes custom machine
Yeah.
work.
Machine shop, steel shop, welder shop, they could all do it.
Now, how do you hold it in the hole?
Set screw.
That's true.
Oh, so you're gonna make a set screw hole. Okay, got it.
That's screw,
Tap.
grub screw.
Drill and tap.
Yeah, you drill and tap a
Three
set screw in it, Sue.
Put a 3/16 Allen screw in there.
Got it.
It cuts like butter.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
work.
It's great fun.
It can be a very aggressive or very easy cutting depending on how you got it set up. Mine, if I instead of revving backwards, you know, like on a motorcycle handle, if I rev forward, I get a harder cut. If I pull back, like the throttle on a motorcycle, gives me a smoother cut when I'm doing it. So
Yeah, I think of it as the flute straight up and down gives me a fine cut, and the flutes horizontally gives me
Horizontal.
a deeper,
Yeah.
larger cut.
play
Right,
with it.
more
Be careful when
aggressive.
you do, because it'll surprise you.
Yep, it's my favorite part about that is you don't have to sand a finished surface. All right, well, thanks, guys. I
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
the input.
Yeah, you bet, Matt. You too. Great meeting. You ducking out or?
Yeah, shortly. It's late. I'm
Oh,
tired.
okay.
I was
Yeah.
turning half the afternoon, so.
Oh, I
Matt, I
I
have a question for Matt.
Yeah,
Matt,
sure.
have you ever done any crackle paint on any of your pieces?
I have not, but it's my intention to do some. I actually have some of the media sitting right here
Hampton
somewhere.
has.
So yeah,
Hampton has. Hampton's
who
done
has?
a couple demos on it.
who has?
Hampton, Scott.
Scott
Scott
has
Hampton.
done some demos on them. Okay.
Yeah.
Stuart Farini too has it on his YouTube, or he's done demos. Same
On
with
what?
Chris Parker. Chris
didn't-
Parker
Yeah,
has done many.
I didn't hear
Stuart
what Roger.
Farini has done some on his YouTube channel.
Stuart Farini,
Scott,
yep.
Bring your camera
Yeah.
on.
Hold on a second.
Hampton.
I gotta come back on the other side of my shop. Hold on.
You're being
Yeah,
Okay.
my understanding is the way you do it
Go.
is you put a base coat of acrylic down, let it dry, then put a
Crackle
base coat,
paint,
another
Scott.
base coat of the same color down, put the crackle media on top of it while it's still damp, and then paint on top of that. And I could be wrong, but
Scott.
Yeah.
Gary, ask your question again to Scott.
Oh, Scott's here, huh?
Yes.
I need some idea how to do crackle paint.
I'll
Oh,
be right back. I gotta go do the cat.
well, there's various ways of doing it. They do make a special stuff for if you're using acrylic paint. A lot of the time, you put a base coat, a undercoat with what you want it to look like underneath the crackle. It's like a two different colors you're gonna use.
Yeah.
You're gonna let that dry. You're gonna put the crackle stuff on it. You gotta let that dry. And what it does is it creates a really slick type of finish on it. And when you apply the other color acrylic on top of that, as it dries, it causes it to create cracks.
Cracks. Okay.
Yeah. And the thinner your top coat is, the smaller the cracks will be. So if you use a thicker coat of acrylic paint, the cracks will be bigger and it won't be as fine. But if you use a thinner coat, you can have really small cracks in the paint.
Okay.
So Gary, today on Facebook, I watched a guy do crackle finish on basically a flat board, but you could do it on anything, and he used
Yeah.
Titebond hide glue.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So he colored his piece underneath, whatever color you want, black, brown, whatever, for your cracks. He put the hide glue on, let it dry completely, and painted latex. You have to make sure you use latex paint. Painted latex paint over it, and within 5 minutes, it was all crackled, and it looked beautiful.
Okay. So
Yeah,
acrylic,
there's different ways of doing it.
Yep.
the acrylic won't crack up like regular latex.
Hey, Gary, I gave you a link in the chat there for Stuart Farini on crack.
Okay.
You have to, when you use acrylic, you have to use the medium for acrylic.
Right. They sell
Okay.
it at craft stores
You can buy it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby.
or whatever. Yeah.
So Sue, are you still on here?
I'm still on here.
So here you can, if you want to make a round bottom hole, you want to do what Matt's doing with his thing and do it on the cheap. You can buy an extension and a ball and a round bottom router bit, and it'll do the same thing as his ball end mill.
Oh, cool. Oh, I've got those.
Well, the flutes aren't the same though, Scott. It won't work quite the same way.
It works exactly the same because this is what I used before you showed me the ball end mill.
Can you do it on the side of the piece too?
Yep.
Okay.
Because this one's made to cut on the sides as well as on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, and you can get these in a myriad of sizes. You just got to make sure you got a shaft that's, will hold it. This one's a 1/4 inch. I think this is a 1/4. I think I have a 3/8, and I also think I have a 1/2 inch. This is just a drill extension.
Yeah, I'll have to look to see what size I have.
And I have a handle that I just changed the whole drill extension when I want to do it.
Okay.
I just have made a clamp on handle.
Okay, that's great news. Thank you.
Just
Yep.
make sure your router bit blades are wider than your diameter of your extension piece there, or it'll
Yeah.
go down to it and it won't go any further.
Right. Yep. You got to make sure when you do your extension that you buy the right width blade for the extension.
Okay. Well, I understand that if you're just going to go with the width of the blade with that extension, you're not going to go very deep.
Right. Well, this one
For
I
my
can't. 'Cause this
ribbon-
one's
for my
actually the same
ribbon
size as the
finial-
outside diameter. Here.
For the ribbon finial that I was drilling out with that, I had done some little birdhouses where I bored them out, and I've got a 1/4 inch shank by 5/8 wide box core bit.
Yep.
And my housing, the extension is a 1/2 inch.
I'll be right back.
So I could go as deep as that thing would want to go.
Right. Now this is a 3/8 box core bit and a 3/8 extent. That the outside diameter here is 3/8.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay. And having the 1/4 inch shank is okay. It's not going to bend on you or anything.
No, because they're hardened steel.
Okay.
They're tool steel.
Okay.
And this
If
one's
you hit a
carbide.
nail in there, it's liable to snap it, but that'd be the only thing.
Yep. And this one's actually got carbide on it, Sue. So it's, it's exactly what Matt was using. It's just just
Gotcha.
in a different form.
Okay. That's that gets me thinking now. Good night, Tim. What's going?
That was for Sue Bailey. You,
Oh, well, thanks a lot. Good night, Sue.
Night, John Boy.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Well, yeah.
Good night, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some extra painting on snowman hats this year too. So maybe I'll crackle one of them and see how finally get that stuff out and see how it works. So that's a good. Thank you for the reminder that I have that available, Gary. I appreciate that. Crackle paint on a snowman hat might be really interesting.
You know
That
what?
would be kind of cool.
You know what I just
That
thought?
might be cool.
Put your base coat is white, and then put your glue or whatever you're going to use on there, and then the top coat will be the color of the hat, so that when it crackles, it'll look like snow's got all over it.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing with airbrushing the base coat. So
Okay.
I want to do multiple colors on the base coat, but there's no reason why I couldn't do various shades of white and gray and so on. So, there's a lot of options. Maybe add some blues or something in there. Who knows?
Yeah. You can do
So,
it.
yep.
But yeah.
Yep. So, and the base coat is what shows up between the cracks. So if you do it right, it should be pretty interesting.
Excuse me.
So I got a lot of things I want to try. I just haven't ever gotten around to it. So
Know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Not enough time in the day sometimes.
you know,
yeah, in the month or the year.
Yeah.
hanging
you
out
got-
with you guys Wednesday nights is Amazon gets all my business and all that crap is sitting in my shop, and I haven't used any of it.
Yeah. So tell me this: have you ordered stuff from Amazon based on one of our meetings, and then when it came in the mail, you were like, "What the heck is this? And why did I order it?"
Yeah, I went through my shop the other day looking for something. I'm like, why do I have this? And it was Resin-Crete, and then I'm like, oh, I know. Resin. I need to do something with that Resin-Crete sometime. And my wife's like, I don't know why I'm ordering stuff just because you saw it on Woodchuck Wednesday night. Good stuff, good times.
I'm sure that their sales go up exponentially after the Woodturners meeting.
They for sure.
Well, I know it does, because that one night that Steve Twidell demonstrated that box and that square piece
Oh, yeah,
inside the
everybody-
box.
Fine.
Yeah, we bought them out of 1/4-inch steel that night. I know that.
Yep.
So I got mine, and I made my skew, and I have used it a couple times. So
I haven't made mine yet, so I have to make the skew yet.
Well, I want to pop smoke, guys. I got training with the troopies early in the morning, so we'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Be
All right. Good night, Tim.
Yeah.
We'll see
Night,
you
Tim.
thanks,
everybody.
Tim. Appreciate your input.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah, I'm taking notes tonight because there are some very good ideas. So I really like the use of thread and using it, and maybe like embedding it in grooves and stuff for all sorts of things. And I've got that cord that I showed earlier. I've had that for years and not used it. So I could use that too, multicolored cord. So there's a lot of.
Matt, on Instagram this week, I was perusing in the evening, and a guy took a bowl and cut a flat bottom groove in it, and he took fly tying thread, the fluorescent stuff, and
Okay.
he glued glued the end down, and then he wrapped the bowl, turned it by hand and wrapped it around like you'd be wrapping a fly tying or a fishing eye on a rod or something. And then he covered it with super glue when he was done. And that was gorgeous. You couldn't even hardly see the lines between the threads. It was really pretty.
Wow.
And that fluorescent fly tying line doesn't melt with super glue like some of the others.
Well, and you don't have to
cotton
use
threads
super
will
glue.
melt.
You could use an epoxy, or you could use even that Tight Bond Quick and Thick. So
Yeah. He did this with super glue because it was quick, it was fast.
yeah, did he cut a cavity for the threads?
Yep. So he cut it just a little deeper than the thread so he could turn that top layer of super glue smooth.
Oh, okay. Ah, that's a great idea.
And I think he did like 2 layers of thread, wrapped it around itself twice. Just to give it a thicker look.
Now
But I
I've
don't
seen
think-
other people do that with thicker cording,
Yep.
around the rims of a bowl or a vase or something.
Yep.
But fine thread would make a wonderful addition.
And
And
your
you
Yeah,
could also
I think it works for a fine detail. I think it's going to be something different to use.
Yeah, and he didn't do it real super wide either, Matt. I mean, it was like only a 1/4 inch wide groove,
okay.
a half inch at the very most on the other one that he did, but it was pretty slick. And fly tying line comes in, for tying flies comes in so many different colors and variations, fluorescent and shiny and flat and
All right. Well, since we're on this subject, I've got this stuff here. This jewelry wire.
yep.
Okay. I got this because of something we were talking about in this meeting, and I don't remember what for.
Doing the same
I
thing.
remember
The
that.
same thing.
I remember
Okay.
that.
Doing the same
inlay.
thing.
Same thing. Inlay.
Okay, same thing. Okay, all right, good to know because it's pretty, and I'm going to use it. So, all right.
And now when I seen that used, it was done the same way, Matt. Somebody epoxied it in,
Okay.
and they used UV epoxy so that they could set it as they were winding it out, so it didn't pop back
Oh
out.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it makes a lot of sense to use the super glue to set it. So the epoxy makes sense too. So
Yep.
I did that on a
Quick.
demolition table from a burned in fishing rod. I used twisted metal cord, and I used a Dremel to give me a little tiny groove wherever I want it to go, so it was freestyle, and then just used the super glue and put it in there so that I could get a good finish. And it worked
very
out.
cool. That's kind of how you do inlay. Like if you were going to inlay like silver wire or something, you use that square wire and kind of pound it in with a hammer, but you have to cut the groove first.
Mm-hmm.
So, very cool. This is good ideas here.
You could make a tool to cut just a single groove to put that one strand of wire all the way around if you wanted to.
I do have one of those tools already. It's called a skew.
But that
Yeah.
makes a V bottom
Makes a
hole. If you
V-bottom.
had a rounded one.
That's true.
Using all.
Take an Allen key that's the same diameter as your wire and round the nose off to make your groove. So when it lays in there perfectly.
All right. All right.
Good idea.
Or I could just cut the groove with cut a V groove with the skew, use the burn wire to create the groove and then lay it in there. And then
Yep.
you'd have the black highlight behind it all.
Right.
Yep.
Or you could make
Oh,
your
Now that
burn
might look good too.
if you
Yeah, it
wanted it to fit the wire you're using, use that wire that you got there for the burn wire.
Yeah.
Use a steel guitar string.
Or that
Yeah.
too, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steel guitar. A steel guitar string,
Yes.
not a guitar string.
A steel guitar string.
I hear you.
I'm using what I
Two
got,
different
guys.
things.
I don't care what you call it. If I've got it in the toolbox, I'm using it.
Yep.
Good ideas. Good ideas. I'll,
Yep.
I'll catch you guys next week, if not online
All right, Matt.
somewhere. Yep.
Sounds
Put
good,
on
brother.
that wire now, Matt, so you remember what it's for.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm taking notes.
Just write
Scott.
Just write on it for inlay.
Yeah.
For inlay or crotch.
Or burn wire.
So Dan, what did you make this week? Anything?
No, I was playing with my new bandsaw.
Ooh,
Oh.
what it?
I put it all together and cut up a whole bunch of blanks, and they're sitting over there drying now.
And
I got more waste wood than I did anything else, really.
Waste wood. What's
There is
that?
no such thing.
I used my
wood.
I used
Blasphemy.
I used my old bandsaw, and it didn't cut straight, and so it zigged when it zagged, and it was a mess. So some of that I had to just throw out, and
What segmented stuff's for?
that's what you use for segmented stuff.
Yeah,
there's a-
Dan.
there's a bowl I want to try, so, and I needed a good bandsaw to cut the blanks out for it.
So what kind of bandsaw did you get?
Raycon,
Okay.
and they
14,
had 50,
14 inch?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. And it's got all the bells and whistles pretty much. It's got, where you can take the pressure off the saw blade, and
Mm-hmm.
I took the time, tuned it all up when I put it together. It's got the nice, easy to set roller bearings, and yeah, it's a lot better than that other one I had.
There you go. Good
Yeah.
for you.
But I did buy 2 extra blades for it. So
Did you break the first one?
Dan, have you got a blade file? One of the rocks to round off the back side of the blade where it doesn't eat into your bearings?
no.
Yeah, you can use your diamond stone for that.
It's a little paddle with a sharpening rock on it. And they have them at Woodcraft and all the wood stores that sell equipment. And once you get it all lined up, you touch it to the back side of the blade and cut the corners off of the back side of the blade with it. And that way it won't scar up your bearings
Oh, okay.
where it rides on it.
Yep.
That's good to know. Because my old saw, that was a Sears, that had the thrust washer on the back that spun.
Yeah.
And that was shot that would wobble back and forth, so you couldn't really get a good.
Yeah.
And you couldn't buy.
Well, you can replace them, right? You can
No, I
replace that
looked
thrust
for 'em.
bearing.
I looked for them. You couldn't get it for that.
Go find a
Oh, you
bearing
just-
shop and
you-
buy
you
a
just-
new
you
one.
just buy a regular bearing, the same diameter and
With the same-
inner diameter.
That
You don't,
wasn't.
you don't go to the bandsaw. You don't go to the bandsaw company or the bandsaw people to buy the bearings.
That was not a bearing. It was a thrust washer,
Ah,
and it went into a brass
Sleeve.
sleeve. Yeah.
Yep,
Bronze
that was
sleeve.
held on with a 3/8 16 Allen bolt.
Sat
Yep.
like this.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you just go to Tractor Supply and buy yourself another washer.
Yeah.
And if it ain't thick enough, you put 2 of them together.
Yep. And if you lose the bronze sleeve, you go to Ace and buy a new bronze sleeve and put
Yep,
in there.
yep. Go to Ace and buy a new bronze sleeve.
Well, it's outside. My neighbor bought it
Yeah,
for $150. So
there you go.
Okay.
Well, now you can So when he starts complaining about that thrust bearing there, now you know how to fix it for him, and you can charge him $100 for it,
$100 plus parts.
There you go.
right? Got to make some money on it, plus a bottle or a 6-pack. Ain't that right, Joaquin?
Yep.
Yep.
Or a deer antler, just right.
Yeah.
Carter usually has everything you need for the bandsaw, bearings and all.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And their blades come with a rounded back end on them already.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, do they?
So do my Timberwolves. They come with a rounded back blade on them too, on the small blades.
Hmm.
The 1.25 and 1.5 blades don't, but that doesn't matter because they don't ride in the bearings anyways when they're that wide.
True.
My bearings are only 1 inch from front to back. My double stack bearings.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna not go to bed, but
Is it
Well, we could-
margarita time?
We could make all kinds of things out of that. Steve.
that's exactly
I know, right? I had to pause for a minute there, Joaquin.
It's just me in the house, you guys. Me and 2 cats. I'm the cat lady.
Right? There you go.
But anyways, you guys have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday.
All right. Steve.
All right, so
Good
sounds
night,
good.
Sue.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Sue.
Go
Good
make,
night.
go make yourself a double margarita.
Hey, that's a good reason to get off the meeting.
Yes,
But I could do that during the after meeting.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
All right, girl. Bye-bye. Oh, Lord. She's
Oh,
funny.
man, she's a mess.
Yeah, we were keeping in contact, since, back on Monday, the hurricane. And yeah, I still got to laugh, when we talked on Tuesday, and she goes, yeah, I don't believe those newscasters, they're saying storm of the century. And they always say it's a storm of the century. It'll be a category 5. And then when it makes landfall, it'll be a category 2, and it'll just blow through. It'll be a lot of wind, a lot of rain. I'm good. I ain't leaving. And she kept me updated. She got her power on, I think, on either Sunday or Monday. But she'd text, we called it, talk to each other a couple times. Yeah, still ain't got no power. I think I'm gonna have to go take a cold shower now.
Well, hey Dane, I'll tell you what. There's still 100 people in North Carolina. They're missing.
Missing. Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's
they're-
up in North
they're
Carolina. I
missing.
know that. That's
There's
a totally different
there's a
storm.
crazy friggin' storm.
Yeah. No, I ain't
Hey,
talking
Al,
about that
what are you
storm.
doing with your camera off? Why don't you turn it on and join us?
Yep, Al, you got to turn your camera on. That's part of the
Well, you
criteria.
wanna see me standing upside down?
Yeah, are you sitting there
Well,
naked or
you
something?
can,
Turn your
you can,
camera
you can
on.
be laying down. Just pull your pants back on and
No, I
turn your
can't do
camera
that.
on. It's part of the criteria. You got to turn the camera on.
Actually, I'm ready to go to bed, but I had the answer to that one.
Okay, all right. Uh-huh. So when you're saying you can't do that, are you saying you can't pull your pants on, or you can't turn the camera on?
I'm saying I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. Glad you had a good meeting.
No, hey, Jesus, I had the best meeting. My goodness, I learned so much of what I'm doing.
Yep. I see a new iteration on your little fan propeller.
Took me 3 days to make those propellers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And they looked good.
Pardon?
And your propellers looked great.
Yeah. They
And your
just
center drive looks great. your cross member looked great. It was just in the wrong place. So you're okay.
Right.
Yeah, believe me, that's tomorrow's project.
Yeah, I bet. And then make another one that's all perfect. So that's your prototype. And then after you're done with your prototype, go make another one. That's your showpiece.
I'm still laughing.
Yeah, we will be too, Al.
I'm still laughing. No, really.
No, it's all good, buddy. It's all good.
It's going. It's core 11. I'm like on my way out. So you guys have a
All
good
right.
night. And be safe. You got it.
All right. Good night now.
All
Good
right.
night,
Thanks for keeping me on, Dane.
Yeah, yeah, you bet. You bet.
All right, now. Good night.
Good night now.
Yeah, in 1980, we had Hurricane Allen coming in here, and it covered the whole Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
When it was going in. And
Wow.
so my cousin and other family taught me into leaving, running. So we took off. We got up around Hallettsville, and no, it wasn't that. Up the country. Anyway, we got up there. There wasn't no place to stay. We was in a park. There was tornadoes all around us. I said, this is ridiculous. I called my dad. I said, hey, Dad, what's going on down there in Corpus? He said, well, it's going in Brownsville. It's not going to hit here. I said, well, I'm coming home. So I go back and tell everybody, I'm going home. I don't know what y'all going to do. So there's Victoria about 60 miles up from us. And we was coming through Victoria. The rain was horizontal. And I couldn't hardly stay on the road. But we come back home and went through the hurricane. And we didn't have it that bad. But I'm real particular about running for anymore.
I had to laugh, you know, on the news, you know, they were showing, you know, I-95 north was nothing but a damn parking lot. And, you know, it's me and Tina sitting there watching that. I look at her and I go, if that was me, I would be over on the southbound lane going north on it, because there ain't nobody coming down south.
Yeah. Oh, I was on every little dirt road I could find. Every little road I could find to get off the main highway. And if they're north of us, I'm not going to run. But if they come in south of us, I'll take off.
Right. Yep.
I hear that the locals up there talking about they're the only ones there. They haven't got no National Guard. FEMA's not there. They're doing everything themselves. All the locals that live there. They ain't got no help.
Where at?
In the Carolinas, North, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, I know. You know, but they say that's misinformation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notice,
I hear you.
Notice that the TV, the national news is not covering the hurricane aftermath.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're afraid they'll embarrass the Kamala and Joe.
Yeah. Kamala and company.
And FEMA, and now FEMA is out of money. After 2 weeks ago, they said, "Oh, we got plenty of money. We hadn't spent any on the immigrants."
Yeah.
How many insurance companies do you think will go broke after this?
Well, it don't matter. They'll just be bailed out by the government.
That's possible.
You know, just like, you know, years past, you know, every time there's a big AIG, I mean, how many times they've been bailed out?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Geico.
We won't be able to afford it though.
Yeah. I don't know how people afford, you know, the flood/hurricane insurance over there in them parts.
Yeah, we don't get it anymore. We used to buy it, but we quit buying it.
Yeah. So damn expensive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't live in those hurricane areas.
What we have though down here is
if
there's storms and damages to cities up above us. we get charged extra by the electric company for the repairs and fix. But those people up there don't get charged for our hurricane damage and everything that we have down here. They're always tagging extra on us.
Really? How's that right?
Yeah, we've got Todd Hunter, one of our representatives, fighting that.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. Wow. Patrick, how'd you fall and hurt yourself? Trying to play hopscotch on the bean hopper?
Yeah, my mind said I could do it, and my body said, no, you can't. No, I was making some shelves and on the table saw, and I walked right in the front of it to open the blast gate for the dust collector. And when I turned around, my feet got tangled up, and I wound up falling on a saw blade grinder, and it hit right on my tailbone.
Oh crap!
Man, that's bad.
And now I got to sit side saddle.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting side saddle for a long time because that tailbone takes forever.
I hope it don't take too long. I can't stand
it.
I fell on a set of icy steps on mine, and it took about over a year for it to feel good.
Yeah.
That ain't
Yeah,
good.
my joints are shot, so I get shots in it to make things easier. And then when I sit on a cushion that's 8 out. You know, so whether it's in here, I got one in my truck. Same thing, you know, to be able to sit on, because if I sit directly on that tailbone, oh my God, you know, it just can't do it.
Yep. And those
Yeah,
cushions are nice. I have one too.
Yeah, they sure are.
We're supposed
$35.
to
I'll
be
send you the link,
cotton
Pat.
next week. Do what?
I'll send you a link on it.
I need something. We're supposed to
Yeah,
start.
it'll help. It'll help you.
We're supposed to
send you a
start
link.
making cotton next week, and I'll be riding that tractor, so that's gonna be a killer.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just
yeah,
start
that's gonna
saying
hurt.
you need a U, one of the U pillows or a donut pillow to ride that
Right.
tractor. Oh.
Well, what that old boy say on Hee Haw? Woo! Oh,
Or
son.
Jerry Clower said, "Woo!"
Yeah, Jerry Clower. That's who I'm.
Jerry Clower, yep.
Yeah, Jerry Clower. That's who I'm trying to remember. Yep. Old Jerry.
Yeah, he said, shoot that thing.
All right.
I haven't thought about him in years.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got a good nap in tonight.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was on the road for 7 hours today.
He was even snoring because I was watching him.
Well, at least I had my mic off, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Carl did too. Carl got in a good nap too.
Yeah, he was napping too for a while.
I went out and picked up some silver maple from a friend of mine that had tree taken down, and
Nice.
kind of wore me out.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, there was a couple times I thought you was going to come out of your hibernation. You went like this, and your arms went back down.
Tell you what, that silver maple sure does turn pretty.
Yeah, it's nice stuff, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice and soft and white.
Yeah. Glenn, what have you been doing lately, buddy?
Oh, haven't been doing much turning. Won't
No?
do any turning for a while. I had surgery.
Oh,
Shit, what'd you do?
Oh, I had that trigger
Carpal
finger
tunnel?
trigger finger release.
Oh, okay.
It had been bothering me for a while. Well, I've had the trigger finger
Thank you.
release, the 3 fingers on my right hand and on my left hand done now.
Dadgum.
And
You
then
got
I
your
had
whole arm wrapped up. Hold your arm out there.
But they just wrap it up. They do the incision on the bottom of
Oh, I
the.
know. I've had it done too, but they just wrap my hand and
They just
maybe
wrap
to
it
the
up.
wrist.
They've always wrapped it up to here, and
Huh.
so I've had these 3 fingers on the right hand and the left hand done, and then I've had carpal tunnel done on the right and the left.
Yeah.
And when I had the first carpal tunnel done on my right hand, I couldn't wait to have the left hand done. It was such a relief because
Yeah, I bet.
when you would drive, you'd hold the steering wheel. I had to change hands about every 10, 15 seconds because it would start tingling so bad.
Yeah.
And so
when you
yep.
had that when you had that trigger finger, did you get the pseudo pain in the opposite hand?
No.
No, weird as so I had it, on these 2 fingers. And I had that done in I think 21 when they did the surgery on it. But I had it on, I thought I had it in the left hand too. I mean, I had the same symptoms and the pain and everything going on. And they said, sometimes people get, when it comes to the trigger finger, that you get the pseudo pain going in to a non-affected limb. It's just weird as shit. But yeah, God, to be rid of that. Whew.
Oh yeah, because you try and grab something and it locks
Right.
in place. Oh, it hurts big time.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have to hold my hands underneath hot water just to be able to uncurl them.
Yeah, they never got like
Oh,
that, but they
God.
would. You would be.
Oh yeah, they were pulled in.
Yeah, they would lock in place, and then at work I would try to not use these 2 fingers and use my other 3 fingers to hold a hammer.
Right.
And I was using a hammer and the hammer flew out of my hand. And but at the time when I first went to the doctor, so I had these 2 done here, these 2 trigger finger and the carpal tunnel done. Then a few months later, I had the ring finger and the carpal tunnel done.
Right.
And then I had this on my left hand, the carpal tunnel or the trigger finger done last year, and then this one today.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, doctor come before I had the surgery. Doctor come in there and said, "Well, we're running out of fingers." So, but
right.
But some even say they have it on their little finger and the thumb, but those 2 have never bothered me. It's always the other.
They might be up next.
Yeah, but it's always the other 3 that always bothered me.
Right.
So I finally went ahead and I had the left one done the summer of last year, and it was always in the hundreds down here last summer, and it started itching underneath the bandage, and it drove me crazy. So that's why this year I decided to have it done till the weather's a little not as hot. So,
right.
But
yeah, see, I had the same thing with mine, where it was, it was done in the summer, well, in the spring, but freaking it's over 100 degrees, and same thing, it started itching, and so I think my follow-up was to get stitches out was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks out, but whatever it was, but a few days prior, I unwrapped that damn thing and I had the wife cut the damn stitches out, pulled it, and then wrapped it back up again. That took care of the itching.
Yeah.
And then when I went to see the doctor, he was like, "You took your stitches out," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't remember doing. I must have done that when I was in my sleep." Good, a nice laugh, and I told him, I was like, "Man, it was just driving my hand nuts." So I go, "It was healed up." I go, I put the bandage, I kept the bandage on, did minimum next to nothing, so. But yeah, it's hard to believe, something so simple causes so much damn pain. I mean, it's like having two sore thumbs, you're just constantly hitting it. It doesn't matter what you're doing,
Yeah.
When you're sleeping, underneath your pillow, boom, you're going to wake up, oh my God, yeah, I hear you. Glad you fixed up.
Yeah. Well, when I had the carpal tunnel, I would wear those wrist pads, those supports.
Yeah.
Because I had
got them too.
I had to wear them because at night, I could hardly a lot of times get my hands comfortable to sleep. So, yeah, once I had the surgery, the carpal tunnel, that was a big relief.
Yep.
Right.
So, but I supposed to have the bandage on for 2 weeks, and so then I'll start doing some turning again. I was trying to do a bunch this past couple of weeks. I knew the surgery was coming up, so did some turning. Didn't do a whole lot, but
yeah, while I was recovering, I didn't turn. I did flat work, so I'd be holding the saw, between my thumb and my index finger. That was the other thing. The doctor said, "Yeah, you got a little bit of sawdust in your bandage here." And I'm like, I tried to get the most of it out. I told you ain't supposed to be doing anything, I'm like, yeah, well,
yeah,
I didn't move the fingers.
I got plenty of stuff to do here in the house. Go through